Danielle Kang is one of the more recognizable players in women's golf over the past decade, with 6 wins on the LPGA Tour as well as her big major win back at the 2017 LPGA Championship. There's a lot to like about Danielle Kang's career. Now, she hasn't had the best results in the past year, but this is a golf swing that so many people can learn a lot from. So in this video, I'm going to break down 3 aspects of Danielle Kang's motion that I think really allow her to be powerful and allow her to really get the ball out there a long ways. And these are 3 points that anyone at home can learn from in order to improve their own golf game. Let's start off with the takeaway. Kang has a very fundamentally sound takeaway. So if you notice right here, as soon as that golf club comes up to about waist height, notice how the club gets up to that waist height and the club kind of just covers over her hands from the down to line angle. This is a great position to be in. It's a very square club face, and you can notice that that club isn't really getting too far behind her, nor is it getting really far out in front of her. Now, a very common issue that golfers have, especially if you're hitting a little bit of a slice, is that that club face really kind of scoops out from behind you and it starts to pull you back way too early. Now, this is a pretty common swing issue that can present all different kinds of swing flaws. So take a look at this image of Danielle Kang's takeaway and try and repeat that. I think that a great way that people can practice a motion like this is by getting your phone, or if you have it available to you, a full-length mirror. I know that some instructors use that a lot in their instruction, and work on that takeaway position and work on where that club is at hip height, where it is at shoulder height. It's a very important aspect of your golf swing, but a lot of people do overlook the importance of the takeaway. So Kang has a very fundamentally sound takeaway that you can learn from. Now let's talk about the top of the backswing into the transitionary move. So at the top of the backswing, look at the lower body rotation and compare it to the upper body rotation. There is not a ton of hip rotation in this golf swing, not a lot of lower body motion, but the upper body rotation that Kang shows is incredible. Very, very flexible, a lot of strength. You notice that that left arm, it has a lot of swing width. That left arm is fully extended. It's pretty far away from the body, which is great. We see a pretty flat lead wrist there, and her trail arm is parallel to the ground. So a lot of golfers, if they have a little bit of a chicken wing and then you're coming over the top, at the top of that backswing, think about your trail arm. So for the right-handed golfer, you don't want that arm to be way up in the sky. You want that top of your arm from the shoulder down to the elbow. You want that position to be fairly square and fairly parallel to the ground. That will allow for a proper swing plane through transition, which gets us on to the final point, which is the very shallow swing plane that Kang really swings on. This is a pretty unique motion. She really drops into that slot nicely. And with this extremely prominent out to in path, Kang hits a pretty consistent draw. And sometimes it's a kind of a hooking draw. I don't say hook in a negative fashion here, because if controlled, hitting that push draw out there can really help you get the ball out there pretty far. If you are someone who slices the ball, you're coming across the ball from out to in through the ball, this is a great motion to look at. Now, shallowing a club like this is not easy. It takes a lot of athleticism and a lot of flexibility to get all that rotation and to drop those hands down. So it takes practice, but if you're kind of hitting some lame balls out there with a slice and they're not really getting that flight or that distance, working on shallowing out the club and using the example that Danielle Kang has set, it would provide a lot of benefit to you. Draws will always go further than fades, and if you're hitting a pretty powerful draw like Kang does, you can get the ball way out there. Now, this shallowing motion is not really something that we see too prominently in professional golf. A lot of golfers will have a fairly neutral swing plane, maybe a little bit of either way, and then you can manipulate your club face as well to change how the ball flies through the air. If you have a fairly neutral path through the ball, but you're closing your club face down, that can promote a draw. But something this exaggerated, with this exaggerated shallow swing plane, we don't see it very much. It looks a little bit like Brooke Henderson's golf swing to me, but if you're looking to get a nice consistent draw, get some more power, get some more distance out of your club, having a swing plane like this, and you need to pair that up with a neutral or even slightly closed club face. If you have this nice shallow plane, but your club face is wide open, you're not going to get the desired ball flight. So that's my quick quick analysis on the golf swing of Danielle Kang. I know that she hasn't had great form this year in 2024, but I'm sure that she'll be back into her form in no time. Again, we see a great takeaway over the hands. The top of that backswing, that is some excellent positioning from Kang, and the shallowing out of the golf club is fundamentally sound. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the golf swing of Danielle Kang. If you have any questions on anything that I mentioned about this golf swing or anything that I failed to mention, please leave those in the comment section down below. As always, thank you all very much for watching. Play well and take care.